Good evening. Once upon a time, there was a young couple who learned that they were unable to have children, so they decided to look into adoption. So they went down to the local Child Protective Services office to begin the foster adoption process.
Hello, I'm a child protective worker.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Jones. We just found out that we are unable to have children. You see, my husband shoots blanks,
And the eggs are scrambled.
and I so desperately want a child of my own. So we have decided to look into foster to adopt.
That was your idea, dear.
That is a very good decision. I will get you the paperwork and come to your home study tomorrow.
Thank you.
Oh yes, only a few more suckers like this and I'll get that federal adoption bonus for sure. Ha 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 ha.
Meanwhile, there was a single mother who didn't get her child support payment this week.
All we had is bread and water for supper tonight because your father didn't send his child support payment this week. I don't know what we're going to do. It's okay, Mom. We'll get through somehow. I wonder who that could be.
Hello, I'm a child protective worker.
What do you want?
We got a report that you were not feeding your child. That is neglect. I'm going to have to take her away from you and put her into a foster home.
Please don't take my baby away.
You should have thought of that before you decided to neglect your child. I will go get a removal order against you. Goodbye.
So the worker goes down to the courthouse to talk to the judge.
Hello, I'm a child protective worker.
What can I do for you?
Little Jane is being neglected by her mother. The poor thing is practically starving to death. We need to remove her from her mother's care and put her into a foster home right away.
Very well then. Here is your removal order for little Jane.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Then the worker goes to get the kid.
Hello, I'm a child protective worker.
What do you want now?
The judge signed the removal order. Little Jane is going to come with me and there is nothing you can do about it.
Please don't take my baby.
Too bad, you are a terrible mother. Come along, Jane. I will see you in family court tomorrow.
So the worker took little Jane to Mrs. Jones.
I wonder who that could be.
Hello, I'm a child protective worker. Do you still want to adopt a child?
Yes, I do.
Well, this is little Jane. She is a foster kid. I will terminate her mother's rights as soon as possible and then you will be able to adopt her and I will get the federal adoption bonus.
Do you mean it?
Yes, I promise. You will make a wonderful mother. Goodbye.
Thank you. You have just made my dreams come true.
The next day, the mother made her first appearance in family court.
I call the case of little Jane's mother versus the child protective worker.
Hello, I am a child protective worker.
Little Jane's mother, you stand accused of neglecting your daughter by being poor and not having any food. How do you plead?
Not guilty. Little Jane's father did not send his child support payment this week. It's not my fault.
She is lying. She spends all of her money on drugs and stays out all night with a different guy each week. She is a terrible mother.
She is lying, Your Honor. I don't drink or do drugs. I don't have any boyfriends. I am a good mother. I want little Jane back now.
I think we should terminate her rights. We already had a loving family who wants to adopt her.
Give me back my baby.
Never.
Okay ladies, here is my decision. Jane's mother will sign a service plan with Child Protective Services. This service plan will include various tasks that the mother will complete. If she completes the tasks, little Jane will be returned to her custody. If not, her rights will be terminated and Jane will be adopted. We will check on little Jane's mother's progress in 6 months. Goodbye.
Little Jane's mother went home crying. The child protective worker went back to her office furious that everything didn't go her way.
That stupid judge. 6 months is too long to wait. But that's okay, I had a plan. Hello.
Yes, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Little Jane is a delightful child. She just brightens every moment of the day.
Houston, we had a problem.
What problem?
The judge didn't terminate the mother's rights. Instead he gave her 6 months to get her shit together.
But you promised I would be able to adopt little Jane.
And you will, but I will need your help. Here's what we're going to do.
So the social worker hatched out an evil plan with the adoptive parent, and the next day, she brought the service plan to little Jane's mother.
I wonder who that could be.
Hello, I'm a child protective worker.
What do you want now?
I have brought you your service plan.
Great. What do I have to do?
You must take drug screenings, psychological evaluations and parenting classes, and you can't get into any trouble whatsoever.
That seems like an awful lot.
Well, if you ever want to see little Jane again then you'll do it. I will check on you in a few months to see how you're doing. Oh, and one more thing. If you screw up, little Jane will be adopted and I will get the federal adoption bonus money. Goodbye.
Meanwhile, the foster mother worked on little Jane.
Can I go home to my mommy now? No, you can't. Your mother doesn't want you anymore. Yes she does, she loves me. No she doesn't, she hates you. But that's okay because you are with me now, and I'm going to take good care of you.
Over the next 6 months, little Jane's mother jumped through every hoop that the child protective worker could throw at her, and then the day of the 6-month review finally came.
I now call the case of little Jane's mother versus the child protective worker.
Hello, I'm a child protective worker.
And did little Jane's mother complete her service plan?
No she did not.
Yes I did too. This child protective worker just keep throwing more and more on.
That's because we identified more problems as we went along.
You did not. You made it all up to try to make it impossible. I did everything that was on that plan. I went to parenting classes, therapy, drug screenings, rehab, got a job, a new home. Now give me my kid back. Now.
As you can see, Your Honor, little Jane's mother has a horrible temper.
I am satisfied that little Jane's mother has made a sincere effort to do everything asked of her. It is my decision that little Jane be returned to her mother in 30 days. Goodbye.
The child protective worker went back to her office and called the foster mother for a meeting.
Hello, I'm a child protective worker.
So how did the 6-month review go? Did the judge terminate the mother's rights? When will I be able to adopt little Jane?
The judge ordered me to return little Jane to her mother within 30 days.
But you promised that I would be able to adopt little Jane.
You will. I had a plan.
What plan?
All we do is get the mother to screw up. The judge will change his mind and terminate her rights. You will get to adopt little Jane and I will get the federal adoption bonus money.
So how do we get her to screw up?
That's the beauty of it. We don't. All I have to do is file a false report saying that she screwed up.
Well this had better work. If I don't get to adopt Jane, I will expose your little child welfare fraud scheme to the court and you will go to jail. Goodbye.
I guess it had better work then.
So the worker then filed a false report with the court.
Hello, I have some bad news about little Jane's mother. She has Munchausen by proxy. She will make little Jane sick.
This is terrible news. What should we do now?
We should terminate her rights so that little Jane can be adopted immediately.
Very well, we will have the termination of parental rights hearing next week. Goodbye.
So the child protective worker goes to see little Jane's mother.
Hello, I have some bad news for you. The judge has changed his mind and decided to terminate your rights. Little Jane won't be coming home after all. She will be adopted and I will get the federal adoption bonus money. Goodbye.
No.
Then, at the termination of parental rights hearing,
I now call the case of little Jane's mother versus the child protective worker. Little Jane's mother, the child protective worker accuses you of having Munchausen by proxy. How do you plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor. That child protective worker is lying. She just wants to adopt little Jane out so that she can get the federal adoption bonus money.
That is not true. That woman is a terrible mother.
I want little Jane back now.
the hearing went on all day. All kinds of people testified on both sides. Then he talked to the foster parents. First the foster mother took the stand.
Little Jane is very happy with me. She never wants to see her mother again. I love little Jane, and I take good care of her. She's lying.
Then the foster father testified.
I now call the foster father. Mr. Jones, I have been listening to all of these women hooting and hollering back and forth all morning. Will you please clarify a thing or two for me? Certainly, Your Honor. I am a good Christian man and I used to be a Boy Scout. I cannot tell a lie. It all started when my wife found out we wouldn't be able to have children. So she cooked up a scheme with the child protective worker that she would be able to adopt little Jane and the child protective worker would be able to get the federal adoption bonus money. Little Jane and her mother are nothing but victims of a child welfare fraud scheme.
Then there was a big commotion in the courtroom. The judge had the child protective worker arrested for fraud, and the foster mother ran out of the courthouse and jumped right out in front of an oncoming truck and was killed instantly. Then, when everything had finally settled down,
I am ready to make my final decision. Little Jane will be returned to her mother immediately.
Thank you, Your Honor.
little Jane's mother went to pick up little Jane.
Guess what, little Jane? Your mommy is going to come and pick you up today.
Do you really mean it?
Yes, I do. I'll bet that's her now.
Oh, little Jane, I missed you so much. I missed you too, Mommy. Thank you for telling the truth, Mr. Jones.
No problem. How about a date?
Sure.
So little Jane's mother and the foster father got together, and a year later they were married and giving birth to little Jane's brother, and they all lived happily ever after.